Hello students, this lesson is about Unit 9 Intermediate Level. In Unit 9 we are going to study reported speech. Students, I want you to relax because this grammar is more frequently used in writing activities. So even more than conversation, but in writing activities, okay? When we report, when we retell a story, there is one thing that you have to bear in mind, is that the verb tenses from the official story must be always spoken in the past, in past tenses. Okay? So, for example, if I asked you to tell me about your last vacation or a film you have watched recently, a book you have read, all these stories would be spoken in past tenses. So I'm going to show you in written how you are supposed to deal with this. This kind of grammar is very commonly used in scientific essays for college, university, okay, in medical reports, all right? Because all this material, written material, they come with these verbs. It was told, it was said. You see the verbs said, told, asked. These verbs come in past, meaning that you are retelling or telling facts, statistics, stories, okay? Mainly reported speech is used in writing activities, okay? In forms, in reports, of course, reported speech, okay? But verbally speak, when you speak in conversation, it's more, there are no limitations except just one. All your verb tenses must be in past. A long time ago in Unit 2, intermediate level, we studied this as in conversation. Unit 2 was about telling me, you know, it was the unit we talk about Van Gogh, yeah? So you told me stories, and one thing I told you in Unit 2, always speak your verbs in past. Simple past, past continuous, past perfect, and so on, okay? But let's cut it short and see the grammar for writing, specifically for writing. Every magazine article, newspaper, site that we have an article speaking or retelling facts, reported speech is used, okay? So it's not for mere coincidence. We have to study this, okay? Okay, so reported speech, as I have just told you, it is used more frequently in writing, okay? So this brings us to some easy aspect of the language. Thanks God we speak two languages, Portuguese and English. We can work with both in writing, right? Okay, there are 1, 2, 3 modes of reported speech. So the first mode is when we are going to report a sentence which is affirmative or negative, okay? So here, when we have this, means it's like in Brazil, we use travessão, so the person is speaking, right? So I'm copying exactly the words that this person is speaking. I've already seen you before. Finish the quotation. Jane said to Bob. And then it must come to your mind the following question. Somebody hasn't heard this sentence and somebody asked you, what did Jane say to Bob? So pretend that someone is asking you this question and you are going to report this sentence. So what did Jane said to Bob? Well, we are going to say Jane, and you are not going to use the verb said, Okay, said is more used when you are in a direct speech. Since we are going to indirect speech, we are trying to copy or repeat the story that was told. We use the verb tell, so don't say said, especially because you have Jane said to Bob. When we have the two people of a conversation, the best verb and the only verb you must use in this case is told. Okay, so I'm using told because you have the two people of the conversation, okay? And said is not allowed when you have the two people of conversation. So, Jane told Bob. Now, Brazilians love to use that to connect sentences, okay? The relative pronoun. The Americans prefer to omit. Omission doesn't mean it's wrong, just it can be omitted. They prefer omission, okay? I personally have the tendency to omit. I tend to omit, okay? So, Jane told Bob that, so this I here represents Jane, that's she. Now, students, here is the part you have to pay attention. Have seen is present perfect. Agree? And teacher told you that in the reported speech we have to put in past tenses. So you have to think. Everything we have studied about verb tenses. What is the past of present perfect? Past perfect. So it's not simple past. You are going to use past tenses. Present perfect, the past is past perfect. So, Jane told Bob that she had already seen. She had already seen who? Bob, right? Or him before. So, coming again, we have present perfect. We are reporting a sentence. When we report, we need to use the original verbs in past tenses. The past of present perfect is past perfect. Okay? I have another sentence here. This one is negative. We have, I'm not fond of going out at this moment. For those of you who do not remember fond of, to be fond of is the same of enjoy, okay? So let's go at this moment. And here, teacher is going to put the person, okay? I'm not fond of going out at this moment. Finish. And here, Jane said. As you can see, Jane said, so that means we don't have two people of conversation. So it's not possible told. Now we are going to say said, okay? When we have two people, then you say told. When you have one person, Jane said, we are going to use said, okay? We can even substitute said by she claimed, other verbs more beautiful, she wondered, depending on what you want to transmit with that context. But let's go for the simple one, said. So we are going to say Jane, and the verb is said. And now Brazilians love to use relative pronoun. That, in our minds, comes that. What have I told you about that? The relative pronouns can be omitted. So if you want to say know that, it is all right. If you want to say that, it is all right as well. Okay. Jane said that, who is this person? She, right? She. And now very important. Am is simple present. We are going to use the past of this tense. The past of simple present is simple past, students. So Jane said that she was okay? Fond of going out at, pay attention, this here, the word this represents a present moment, but you are reporting a sentence. So this sentence now must come in past, right? So every single indication of the present tense must be turned into a past form. So this means right now. To give distance of this moment, I say that, okay? This is pretty good, because if I put this and was, it's not going to match, because was is past, this represents right now. It's a little confused. So the whole sentence, all evidences of present, must be turned into past. So we are going to say that moment.